Hello everyone. In this lesson, I suggest we tackle some code duplication issues. Specifically, we have various Zod objects where things are reused. For example, in the update profile input, we specify the nickname with a specific setting, and on the registration page, we use the same setting. I propose we move all our Zod structures to a separate file and reuse them to eliminate code duplication. This raises a question. We need these Zod variables both on the back end and the front end. So, where should we store them? On the back end or the front end? Import them either from the back end to the front or from the front to the back end. And it's a difficult choice because we need them in both places. Therefore, I suggest creating another workspace. We currently have web app and back-end workspaces. For some code that is needed in both places and isn't clear where to store initially, let's create a workspace called shared and store all of that there. And we'll start by storing Zot-related things there, and later we'll add much more. Let's get started and create our shared workspace. So, first, we simply need a shared folder. Basically, we do it similarly to other packages. We need the same files, but essentially, nothing new will happen. We need a package.json. Package.json. Good. So our package.json will be the following. What's here? We also have scripts with types for type checking, a script for lint and prettier. From dependencies, we only need Zod and node types for now. All right, then we need to add tsconfig there. tsconfig will be next. New file tsconfig.json. We'll just inherit from tsconfig.backend and won't invent anything new. It includes only the src folder, okay? Then we need slint, which will inherit from the root, but we still need to specify a reference to our tsconfig. So, we've set up slint. Okay, moving on. We need to add shard here in pnpm workspaces as well. All right. What else needs to be done? When adding a workspace, don't forget to specify it in VS Code settings, or else slint will lag. Added shard here. Good. Now let's add the src folder and include our code related to Zodon. All right, we'll simply call it zot.ts. Oops, wrong one. Okay, let's figure it out. First, we need to install the packages. So, look, we need to... All right, let's just install it for now. We're installing the packages and we'll analyze this file for now. It uses everything related to some Zot stuff. We'll first go through these and then start applying them throughout the code. This is related to nf variables. Here's zot.nf non-empty trimmed. Required in non, it's not local. That is, accordingly, what we already had in this file is simply transferred here now. src.lib nv. These just moved here. Then host, its nf variables, were also just moved to a separate variable. Then we often use required string, but for example, want to create a custom message. Not the default message, but like this. String optional, email required, required nickname, just moved here too. Moreover, we can inherit. We declared that there is a required string, and it's like this. Then we extended it to state that it should be an email or match a regex. Then, for example, we want to set a minimum length for the string. In the creation of the idea, we specify that its description should have at least 100 characters. Well, we can declare a function, and when we use it, we'll call it and pass the required number of characters here, there, and please, it is generated like this. String required min, the min is passed here. This min also appears in the message text, and we have this function that will replace what we currently have, for example, on the sign up page. Yes, that is, where we have web app, src, pages, out, sign up, there. And it's also used when changing the password. To avoid duplicating this code, we create a separate function to which we pass the name of the field with the old password and the name of the field with the password, and the repeated password. Good. So we created this. Packages installed. Ready to proceed. To proceed, we need to add this dependency to our package JSON. We simply indicate that our shared disk is imported here, and the shard will be imported here. So, once again, you need to call pnpm install. Okay, good. Dependencies will be ready soon. In the meantime, let's gradually apply this code to all our files. Well, let's probably start with the end file in the backend. All right, let's import our variables from the shared workspace. Okay, all right. Therefore, this one will no longer be needed, and this can all be safely deleted. The end file is now called this to avoid confusion. All right, so they are all renamed to the end file. So rename this to n, and replace this and that with this. Okay? There will be quite a lot of routine work now. We just need to insert these variables everywhere, and that's it. So I don't think it makes sense to comment much here. Let's just do this little by little. Router, alt, sign in input. Here, insert it. String, acquired. All right. And then we'll go to sign up input. Yeah, how? Email. Okay. Then update password. If you think what's happening is boring like I do, you can safely skip it. Closer to the end of the video, we'll be checking that everything works fine and that our package imports correctly. The point of this lesson is to simply create another package to see the creation process. We created it at the very beginning, and now we're just applying it. So, okay, I currently have not move to a separate variable because it seems I'm not using it anywhere. So if you find that something similar occurs somewhere with the max number of characters or so, you can also extract it. It's not necessary to extract all elements into the schema, just the ones that repeat. So, IDS, block ID. Open ID. Yes, and here we will apply our function, show 100. Good. So, then get IDS input and here we don't have input here. Set ID, something like that. Why don't I have an input here? The input is completely inside. Well, theoretically, we can move this to a separate file. Let's move it. Yeah, we forgot. PTS. No ida, idanik. Okay, so let's move on. Here again, this is something unique. We keep it. So set ID like. Oh, no, that's the ID. Okay, so what's next? Next, we need to go to the web app. Let's go. Also to the NFTs file. And we order these variables here. Okay, let's go to the edit profile page. Here, a pretty interesting function will be applied. So, here now in Super Refine, we can make some changes. So, well, first of all, here we provide the string required, and we can replace this with the following structure now. Instead of the whole function, we just state the passport must be the same. And specify the name of this field and the name of this field. So under the hood, this thing just returns the same function. So that is, we called password must be the same, and it returned this to us. And that's exactly what was there. All right, it looks neater. So then let's go to the sign up page. So it's the same here. So, super refine, substitute. Good. So, it seems we've added everything to the files. Now, let's check again whether our types didn't break. Did everything import correctly? No. All good. So, good. Let's take a look. Somewhere ideas. There are some problems with the cursor. Money from the note symbol to the debugger. Oh, I see, because we specified that it's a string optional here, but we actually had a number optional here before, right? Yes, we had this kind of structure. Let's revert it. Number optional. Let's check the types once more. So now our sign-up page is fine. Okay, all types work. Let's check our back end and front end. Okay, all ideas. Well, let's sign up, for example. Sign up. Leave the fields empty and check invalid email. String. Must contain at least one character. Okay, our task was to make this message more readable. Well, let's see what's wrong with this string requirement. So, let's go to our shard package in Zode. Yes, we have string required. It's specified like this, min1. Okay, so the error should trigger. Sometimes this one. So here we'll add the same message. Now our message should be better. All right, King, please fill it. Yes, now it's correct. Proper message. Okay, well, let's sign up again, just to verify. That on the back end, they also picked it up correctly. Sign up. Okay, great. So we successfully created the shard package. Here. The only thing missing here is the lint-staged RC file. Let's add it too. Well, it will be exactly the same as on the back end. Period. Lint-staged rc.vm. Lint-staged rc. Okay, with such content. That's it, created shard workspace. We can use it and add various other things that we need for both back end and front end. All right, thank you all. Let's move on.